What? Boys and girls, swing traders, hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are ready. We already hit the PPI numbers this morning and pretty muted reaction. So nothing crazy there. The big event, the big moment is upon us. We do got Jerome Powell. I think this is what the week is kind of waiting for. And let's see if Jerome Powell lets this madness continue in the market, or if he wants to, put the fire out. We'll see. We have 5 hours to go until we figure it out, but we're going to get a lot more information today. We're going to see how this market wants to develop. We're going to see a lot coming up in a very, very short time. So just be safe out there. The market is gapping a little bit in the morning. Some miniature moves here and there, but again, how far is too far? And do we start to eventually get some kind of a pullback? I think maybe some point, but I don't have my sign yet. Just kind of waiting. But what I don't have to wait for is we got Albert in the house. Good morning to Alex. We got Amy B rocking with us. Good morning to Andy Richardson. Bill's in the house. Brian Thompson. Good morning. Kay, Eric, Gina. We got Gerline in the house. GW, of course, rocking with us. We got Jay, Linda, Lauren, Martina. Remco's with us. What's up, Remco? We got Richard, Jet. Hola. We got Rock in the house. Stalking DraftKings. Good morning to Ron. Ron was getting his tennis in yesterday. I love it. Tanya, good morning. And we got my girl Sochi in the house. All my people on YouTube land, good morning to you guys, all the lurkers in the back of YouTube. I still love you guys. It's okay. Just hit that little thumbs up, that like, subscribe. That's the low cost of admission for the YouTube. We got Jeff Pierce, good morning in YouTube land. And Jeff is saying he wants to take a look at Caterpillar. Man, we got the tickers coming in already. Let's go. Whew. Lauren says, with Powell, would you be thinking more quicker trades? That's a good question. I mean, we're not going to know anything from Jerome Powell till about 2 p.m. So if history repeats itself, which, I mean, that's not a saying or anything. So if it does, typically the day before should be a little muted. And we didn't really see that yesterday, right? We still from the last 2 days. So my biggest thing with Jerome Powell is not Jerome Powell. It's the rest of the market. The market is just anticipating really, really good news from Jerome Powell. And I want to kind of assume it's like the Apple conference, which, I mean, that history repeats itself almost. I mean, you can write it down and pretty much it happens exactly. Everybody gets all amped up. What's the new Apple product? And it could be something amazing, but the product is meaningless. We get the run up into it, and then you get the sell off after. So could today be a little bit of a down day from Jerome Powell, whether good news pending or not? That's the question. And I don't know. I mean, we have 5 hours until Jerome Powell comes out. So probably the last hour or two, you get some repositioning. You might get some people starting to worry, like, yeah, we're up on everything ever. Doesn't matter if it's a company that makes money or not. Should we ring the register and get some profits? I don't know if it quicker is the best way to put it, but I think just more cautious in general. Maybe move stops a little bit quicker, try to take some gains quicker, look for a different setup. I think that's the better way to approach it, just because I don't know what's going to happen, but we've run a lot into this, right? So quicker, maybe not, but just being more cautious with the trades, just trying to find something that has the ability to really run. And going bearish on anything is still almost an impossible feat. So you still want to stick bullish, but I'm a cautious bull, at least till Jerome Powell. Find out what happens with the economy, find out what's going on, or how we should be set up for the next. I mean, honestly, from this point from Jerome Powell, we should get good information for how this market's going to look for the next probably 30 days out, right? It's going to set a decent picture for us. But so far in the morning, we do have the SPY with a little bit of a gap up. It is a retest gap. I believe we were outside of this range. So we actually hit 437.87 pre-market. So 437.87. So it was a full-on gap up, and it is retesting right now. We look to be opening inside day. We do have a VPOC sitting somewhere around 436.65. So that would be kind of my retest spot. And then what happens from there? If that breaks, the next spot becomes 430. I'll call it 436 flat, but somewhere in that zone. If that one breaks, there's not a lot holding us really up until I'm going to call this one 431.82, but that's a makeshift line that I drew. The real VPOC comes in somewhere around 431.22, so slightly a little bit lower, but and you probably have some people maybe trying to get off the ride at 433.86. So there's a decent amount of room to the downside if this market wants to take it there. Otherwise, to the upside, I still have my target of 438.91, and we'll have to kind of see what happens up at that range. But right now, risk to reward is a little bit shifting to there's some room for the bears to make some money, and a little bit less room the more we go up. But again, the direction is still bullish, at least for now. And man, I can't wait for Jerome Powell. It's like Christmas in June with him. Let's just see if he's a nice Santa or a bad Santa. I don't know. Real Virtual Domain, YouTube land says good morning. Rado says good morning. We got Yovaris in the house. Good morning, Yovaris Rock. Good morning to you as well. Man, this is gonna get crazy. We got the Qs. Nice little high wave indecision, possible reversal if it reverses, but for right now it is just indecision, and we are opening relatively flat. Man, we gap down 6 cents. How does that make sense? That's a lot compared to, I mean, we don't gap down. It doesn't make sense, but relatively flat to where we open. So we'll see if we could get some kind of pullback. That doji would represent, again, a little bit of indecision. So let's see if that plays out, and that would probably lead us to a little bit chop in the morning for at least some of the tech sector, and just be cautious on some of those trades. Maybe wait for like the targets that you don't think is going to fill, and that will probably end up fill on some kind of weird wick or something like that. But we'll see. Jeffrey says no reversal on Delta. No, just straight up like the airplanes, not like Boeing. Actually, I think Boeing was doing pretty good too, but for the first time in history, I think. But yeah, Delta, nice little gap up. Again, this one technically should be I said this about Oracle the other day too. I was like, well, using common sense, you're up a lot and you have earnings coming out. I would take profits. If you're up a lot, which you would be in Delta, I would take profits. Does that mean the market takes profits? No, because they're smarter than me. I don't know. But yeah, we gap up. This one should be a retest gap. Let me see where the next resistance comes in. Not that it matters because we just break through resistance anyway. But if you're a believer in any type of resistance, you're looking at 41.94 could be the next spot. I don't know. This market is I think the only person trading this market is Dr. Seuss at this point. I'm not sure, but yeah, that would take us to 41.91. In that one, we got 42.19. So we're starting to get to spots where you would assume we get some kind of a pullback. I'm a little bit more market neutral today than anything. So just I'm ready to and willing to trade any direction possible. Just it's up a lot. I probably have to lean a little bit more to the bullish side on pullbacks. And probably for the next 5 hours, it's still by the dip territory until we get some kind of concrete news, but we'll see. Let's take a look real quick at Caterpillar. The Caterpillar. Yeah, so good little gap up, but this zone right here, definitely a highly congested zone. Like they would have to take some Mucinex up here. This is a crazy zone with lots of different resistance spots. Doesn't mean it can't break it. I mean, the trend is obviously bullish, probably by the dip opportunities, but you are gapping above yesterday. there was some bears that could be getting trapped, but for the most part, you got a lot of bulls into resistance. On a technical basis, I probably wouldn't go long. On a Dr. Seuss basis, straight Moon Lambo. I mean, that's a crazy move. Crazy move. Volume, high resistance. This has got to be around the spot. I would at least be cautious in a bullish direction, if not anything else. BCS. You're not talking about a ticker, right? You're talking about credit spread. Or are you talking about Barclays? Barclays. Yep, CVS Lauren, and then also UNH too. We're gonna get to as well. What's the short float on BCS? You're looking at the credit. Oh, the credits. Because BCS by itself has a decent little gap up. No short float. Hardly any volume on this one. And probably target there. Yeah, you could go with a credit spread on Delta. I think you could probably start doing it on a lot of things at these rates, but me at this point, it's like we could just see what happens in 5 hours. Less than 5 hours at this point. CVS looks interesting for a gap down, so at least it's doing something different than the rest of the. I think there was a couple other spots in like the medical field ish that were gapping down. The biggest issue, and that is a good gap and go. Decent volume came in yesterday. We are below all moving averages. The only thing, again, that could affect this one, and I think it's still that's my only issue, is we have a nice double bottom. This is kind of a check into that neckline, and we could get seniors catch up on surgeries. Why has the seniors been putting off surgeries for so long is the real question. Leading to higher costs. I mean, that's the news. Hector's in the house. What's up, Hector? At Goldman Sachs Global Healthcare Conference on Tuesday, Tim Knoll, United Health Medicare said, and retirement said that as mask mandates are dropped at medical offices and pandemic fear might have pushed off a bit of so they're like, I'll schedule it after we drop the mask mandate. The masks on their knees so that the condition didn't get worse. That was crazy. So yeah, something from basically from the healthcare sector. So UNH looks a little bit more attractive. 55. That's going to give us about $7. Let me get into the edge here. 50. Yeah, breaking down further, but this again, it looks like we're at a little bit of support. If we start breaking that support, I'd watch that one for further drop down to 420. Knee surgery is expensive. I mean, you got two knees, so it's not like they could operate once. This is a double whammy. All right. HD for Gerline, and Ron has a couple tickers we'll look at as well. Hey, I know. Well, we'll see at 4 o'clock if it's happy or not. Otherwise, it would just probably be a welcome to J Payne Day until we get the results. We will see. This is 301, so a little bit of a gap up here. Average, we're right at it right now. We do have resistance above us on this one, and this one is a gap and go. We're not clearing yesterday's candle, so we're right around that 50%. Some of the ones to look at, though, so again, there was a reason this thing gapped up and then it faded back down. So this was a retest gap. We did retest, and now we are kind of hanging out. So I would expect a little bit of chop. What I would do is put this on the list, see if we get some, because I would imagine inside day, something like this, you got some bears trapped, and you now have some bulls trapped. You probably get some kind of pennant pattern. So probably not be the first one. with resistance, the 301.57, 53, whatever it is. And then you got support from yesterday at 300. That pennant pattern, see if we could reject that 314. If we could hold that, all right, well, at least we're buying it off the lows. If not, we probably get some kind of a further breakdown to the downside. You're looking at 297.41, so it could be interesting. Hector says, but the deadline for where they count numbers, only the purchase counted. So next quarter. So HD gonna look good for earnings. All right, we got Zim. Got some alerts on high float companies with big recent bear volume. Zim, the true dividend trap right here. What is the current dividend on this one? Zim dividend, it's wild. There you go. So if you just want 127% per year list, it feels good in the meantime. I feel like Zim will be a penny stock eventually. But yeah, and you have your alerts on this one. I think a little bit of a higher price, so 13.79. So I agree. If we could get up there, but we're not there yet, right? So pre-market's opening a little bit lower. I think I looked at most of these. Just the price targets haven't been hit yet. So right now, that would be an alert to set on the screen, but we can't really do too much with it now because it obviously could still break down. But Zim does have high short float because, quite honestly, they're so they will be eventually lower. Doesn't mean it can't just absolutely rip ahead of time. Zertex, so energy company. This is I don't know anything about this company. This is you have an alert at 627. So again, this one's a little bit of a gap up. Looks in your target for at least your alert 627. That's a little bit higher. But yeah, if that one starts to break, possibly again, who's being trapped though? We only have like 2 days action being trapped. All of that coming down there. That being said, we are at a really, really nice support. So maybe the support could lend a helping hand, and maybe that could get us enough momentum to start breaking through those. I don't think it's ready yet, personally, but you do have a little bit of a gap. This is more inside day with a bull trap. So we already trapped bulls once. We rejected off that 10 EMA. We got shot right back down. And again, we're kind of opening at that little bit of resistance. If that breaks, you have a few more resistance back to 616. You got a few more resistance back to 629. And it's not quite a penny stock. Penny stock's anything under $5, but it's close. Could get manipulated a little bit. Really, we're living the dream inside of this high wave at the end of the day. So this is our bigger high wave zone. That was quite the gap down. That was a retest. This was us attempting to retest. And we probably have to look for a new 5 wave count, which maybe this is 1, 2. That's probably your ABC. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me another couple days down there. And then maybe we could look for energy. Everything energy right now is a little bit tough to play bullish. Again, they're just not a storied industry right now. Day one, biopharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals could do anything. Absolutely wild. This is at 1365, and in an hour and a half, it could be at $300. Who knows? Or zero. One of the two. Where's this one? Does this one have any gap whatsoever? Am I missing something on this one? No, I don't see a gap unless it's already at 300. I didn't scroll high enough. But pretty much opening flat, probably not high volume, and you do have a little resistance there. You got your alert set for 1432. So yep, still got a little bit of room in order to get up there. And then once we do start breaking that, I mean, yeah, we do have quite the downtrend, probably high short float. A little, according to TradingView, a little bit of a high volume, not high volume, but TTM squeeze is indicated. That is a decent candle. Maybe look for some follow-up on this one. So out of all of them so far, this is, I think, your best shot. That would take us to about $14.30. Rig, you have an alert at $6.18. I do have some rig, but again, obviously everything is everything oil energy sector kind of getting clapped. So we do have a gap up, but again, that gap up is a little less meaningful. You're still living inside this candle. So really, until you break this, I would say 611. You got your alert 618. So I do agree. If we could get back up there, that would make sense. But probably a little bit of a chop. Watch it, see if this thing starts to. I mean, we do have good support down here, and we'll see. But if this thing gets going, yes, I've been in this thing for a while. It makes crazy moves both directions. So very volatile. All right. Should have went to Lowe's, Rock says. 127. You could buy shares and collar them. I would just stay away from Zim. That's probably the best thing to do. Jay says WETG is going crazy. It's an AI play. Yeah, that's going crazy. I don't know what this one is. WETG, the We Trade Group. How is this an AI play? Yeah, DJ Dan is also an AI play. Not a big short float on this one. Pretty massive gap. This is a retest. Is there news on this thing? The We Trade Group is the worst AI name I think I've ever heard in my life. If this is an AI play, this looks like because penny stocks frequently playground for scam artists, and yeah, the first article I pull up, I like to see the word scam and artist. The artist makes it more like creative. You don't want to be a scammer. You just want to be a scam artist. Get creative with it. We trade stocks on the move today. You can find out all about this. This looks like a big pump and dump. Yeah, I don't know. But you're at a moving average. Probably first resistance comes in at 21. There's no short float on this thing, hardly anyway. It's 2.87%. I don't really see any news except for scam artists. This I would probably look to fade this one. Let's add this one to the list just in case. I don't even know if we're able to short shares on this one. It might be hard to borrow. Not sure. We were in on a technical basis on the TTM, we are in a TTM squeeze. But you're up over 100%. So you could get Zim and wait 100. You could wait a full year for 125%, or you could just buy this yesterday and same results. The We Trade Group announces 1 for 185 reverse stock split. So there you go. Go back to FinViz and look at the news. Yep. Let's see what Yahoo. Oh, and it's tied to Beijing. My confidence just went up a little bit. We Trade Group, We Trade, or the company, NASDAQ, a global diversified software as a service, technology service provider committed to providing technical support and digital transformation tools for enterprises across different industries. Today announced that the company has launched a large-scale language model generated by artificial intelligence. Can anybody say the bubble's here? I think we're peaking on the bubble. This has done it for me. Yeah. I put it on the list. We're gonna watch it. My mind is blown. You guys officially did it. I don't know. But yeah, so a little bit of not short squeeze, just AI related. You're reversing your shares 1 to 185. That's beyond nuts. And yeah, okay. Quite the massive gap up. We could try trading it. We'll see. All right, let's see what else is out there. Let's take a look at Tesla. The Tessie. So we have a little bit of, we were gapping up again, a little bit higher than this, starting to bleed a little bit pre-market. If this thing comes down short, we got one little V pocket, 258.28. I think honestly, if we hit that, it's breakable, and we could probably come down to 252.33. Otherwise, to the high end side, this 266.21 looks like a really good target on Tesla. Let's move this up a little bit so we could just watch it. Amazon was a pretty weird day yesterday for Amazon, but we did gap up. So sentiment was bullish at the beginning of the day. It was a retest gap. It did retest. We did hang out kind of with a hammer, and we're right at that little bit of support. So I'm not opposed to seeing how Amazon also opens today. That might be one on my list to see if we get continuation. Again, even though it's a red candle, it was still a bullish day at some point. Sentiment was still bullish. So I'm going to see if we could hang out at this level and then look to maybe take it up. Targets would probably be 128.24. If we get past that, that's when we go crazy. But I still like Amazon in a bullish direction. AMD, a little bit different on AMD. So AMD had that bullish sentiment. We are gapping up on AMD. The problem is we are hitting some resistance, and that is quite the bearish engulfing candle. So this one actually might be a short, probably because everyone's rotating their money from AMD to We Trade Group. I'm not sure, but I got to watch that resistance, 127.44. If that breaks, we got another one at 129.20, but that was a bearish engulfing with high volume yesterday. So only thing really to support us is that 10 EMA, and we'll see what that one wants to do. What do I got? 5 seconds. YouTube land, you guys are absolutely incredible, but unfortunately this time I got to disconnect. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and the thumbs up and all that stuff. But regardless, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. You guys are incredible. Oh, me. Stop sharing my screen somehow. All right, well, let's see.